all week long, I'm looking at stories. Like I can't even remember what I looked at on Monday.
It's so depressing.
Like it's like there's so many stories that pop up. It's like, oh yeah, it's like, but it was only a few days ago when I was reading an article, and everything keeps popping up. So
I'm like,
I'm sure there's something Trump did every day. He's doing something. Or
well, so the media tells us. When you think about it, though, I mean, our entire perception of what's happening in the world or reality in general comes purely from the media, from people telling us on the television or on the internet this happened or that happened or this happened. So like we're tuning into a narrative to a particular frequency of open quotes truth close quotes. But whether or not that's accurately being represented, right? That's the issue. That's the quandary that we all have. Are we being bombarded by the truth, by lies, somewhere in between? How do we figure this out? And I mean, in the age of the internet, where you're when you go onto like Facebook or where all these algorithms are aggregating all of these news stories based on what it thinks you'll like. And it's affecting us. I know it's affecting me. I know that when I go onto Facebook or Twitter and I see all these stories which are populated to what it considers to be my psyche, what it thinks I want to see, and it does influence people. It does make you change your it can contribute to changing your mind on things, but it makes you angry. It pushes your buttons, Do you feel that?
Well, yeah, like I get a lot of, obviously, like I'll be going through my news feed and I'll get like a video of a police officer beating the snot out of somebody. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, damn, I can't believe this is going on. Like, why aren't people helping? And then this week it's been about abortion. And, it's a hot topic, right? I mean, it just pushes your buttons.
It's trying
are they purposely doing this? It is the algorithms. They're like, okay, this guy, he seems to watch these kind of more videos.
Right. So what it does is even when you're scrolling through your feed, right, and you're going through it at a reasonable pace, and then a story will come and you'll slow down and look at it, and then move on. You might not click on it, but you slow down. You go on, and it logs this. It logs that you've slowed down, and it knows which story you've slowed down on. And then if you click on it, he's clicked that, so okay, we'll add that to the profile. And then, and then Facebook comes, hey, we've noticed you haven't put where you work. Let me put that in. Okay, now we know that. And so on and so on and so on until it starts building a profile of you. And then based on that profile, it feeds you the stories that it thinks you're going to like and or the advertisements. Now, something happened this week to me, and I didn't realize it until afterwards. A friend of mine, a childhood friend, someone I've known my entire life. And obviously because we've known each other since we were kids, we share a lot of memories of things that happened when we were children, when we were kids. But those memories...
And this is all in Wales, right? Yeah. You're an adult.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
All of these memories that we have and we share, they're encased in my mind and in his mind and nowhere else, right? No one else knows these things. Now, he posted something the other day on Facebook referring to one of these old childhood memories. And I was like, oh, yeah, man, I remember that. And I went in and I typed some stuff and we talked about it back and forth or whatever. But we were talking as if I was only talking to him and he was only talking to me. But that's not the case. Now, that memory that was only buried in our two brains is now a part of the algorithm. It's now a part of our profiles. It's now a part of something that the machine learning can use against us.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it?
It's very disturbing, and this is we're in the infancy. Where this will be 5 or 10 years from now or even 20 years is mind blowing.
Well, what gets me is now this is maybe my fringe conspiracy mind. The TV's on. I'm talking to my daughter, and she'll ask me stuff, and I'm talking. And later in the evening on Facebook, stuff starts popping up that I'm like, Geez, I was just talking about that this morning.
Right.
You know, my laptop's off,
Mm-hmm.
TV's always on. We always listen to music and stuff. And
I've noticed that too.
I don't know. Sometimes it's really weird.
So
I'm just talking about stuff.
Yeah, there is a conspiracy theory about your phone, right? Where your phone is constantly listening to you and listening to your conversations, listening for keywords and phrases, and then archiving those and adding them to the database in relation to other topics. And because the profile is shared from your phone to Facebook to Twitter throughout the internet, all under one large profile of you, based on what you're saying in the vicinity of your phone, it can then serve advertisements and or stories back to you based on your conversations in real time.
It's frightening. It's now there's sometimes I think, oh, hey, some advertising's come up that I'm like, yeah, I was actually looking for that. Right. But it's creepy that I was talking about it in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's the government aspect that gets me. Somebody's building a profile. It's like a real 1984 kind of thing.
Well, they absolutely are. Multiple companies are building profiles on you. In fact, they probably know more about you than your spouse. They know more about you than maybe you do yourself, right? Because every single thing you do on the internet, literally everything, is harvested, collated, stored, and added to your profile. And then on top of that, every time you use your credit card, every time you get a junk mail or anything, everything you do is added to this profile. And it's used to sell you things. And it becomes very valuable. But it can be used for many other things also. And this is tip of the iceberg, Trevor. This is tip of the iceberg. Just imagine 10 years from now. Just imagine the fucking world we're going to live in.
Oh, my God.
Just think about it.